Good morning. What's going on? Another video here today, and this is only my second or third official act of the day. I didn't even make my bed. I'm gonna go to church in about 45 minutes, but because of that, and I have some visitors later. Pretty busy. We're gonna do our video now because if I leave this room, we're not gonna do it. So it's going to be a good one, guys. So we're reading Genesis 37 and 38 on our quest to get through all of Genesis. I think it's going to be like way before the end of the month. But yeah, after Genesis, we are going to take a break from the Bible content and make a new game plan and stuff like that. I want to go viral, dude. I want this channel to blow up. So, and no disrespect to the Bible, but it's not blowing up because of it. That's all right. I'll definitely be speaking to God a lot about it in the process, and if He wants me to go keep doing the Bible stuff and gives me a clear indicator of it, then I will. But anyway, we got Genesis 37 and 38 today, which is one of the weirdest little pivots in the Bible as far as I'm concerned. We got him, Joseph and his brothers, and he tells them about him, and he gets sold and things like that, and then it just goes to Judah and Tamar, which it's him sleeping with his daughter and having a kid with him, right? So anyway, I'm not to spoil it too bad, but it's kind of a weird pivot. Then it just goes right back to Joseph and Potiphar. So the reason for that may be revealed to us in the scripture today. It may be revealed after the fact. When we watch a video or a sermon, someone explain it. I'm not sure, but let's read Genesis 37. Jacob lived in the land of his father's sojournings in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. These are the generations of Jacob, Joseph, being 17 years old, was pasturing his flock with his brothers. He was a boy with the sons of Bilhah. He was a boy with the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph, but he's Rachel's son, right? I'm not going to question it too much. Yesterday was a train wreck. I kept wondering and questioning and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to try to not speak up about it and kind of turn my brain off just a little bit, because it's like when it says something that crap. No, it's my phone's down. Yes. Okay, we're here. We're back. Hold on. Dang it. What a scrub. All right. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, we're back. Sorry about the detour, guys. I'm just going to try to do a little bit of not wondering so much and not rambling so much, especially in this one. Okay. He was a boy with the sons. Oh, with the sons. Already violated my own rule. With the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, but not the sons of Leah. Interesting. With Bilhah and Zilpah, his father's wives, and Joseph brought a bad report of them. So was it even a bad report of the sons of Rachel and Leah? And Joseph brought a bad report of them to their father. Now Israel loved Joseph more than any other of his sons, because he was the son of his old age. And he made him a robe of many colors. But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peacefully to him. Now Joseph had a dream, and when he told it to his brothers, they hated him even more. He said to them, "Hear this dream that I have dreamed. Behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and behold, my sheaf arose and stood upright. And behold, your sheaves gathered around it and bowed down to my sheaf." His brothers said to him, "Are you indeed to reign over us, or are you indeed to rule over us?" So they hated him even more for his dreams and for his words. Then he dreamed another dream and told it to his brothers, and said, "Behold, I have dreamed another dream. Behold, the sun, the moon, and 11 stars were bowing down to me." But when he told it to his father, and to his brothers, his father rebuked him and said to him, "What is this dream that you have dreamed? Shall I, your mother, and your brothers indeed come to bow ourselves to the ground before you?" And his brothers were jealous of him, but his father kept the saying in mind. I will interrupt myself here because it is a paragraph break. Notice that it never says all of his brothers. I don't even know what this means, but keep in mind, Leah, I believe, had the most sons. I think Leah had 6, and there were 6 other than that, and 2 were from Rachel. And I believe so. I mean, I guess that means there were 4 between Bilhah and Zilpah. But let's just go back. Let's just go back. Bilhah, 2 from Bilhah, 2 from Zilpah. Yeah. So I'm just talking about what it says here, or more about what it doesn't say. It says the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, and then a bad report of them to their father, meaning the people previously mentioned, the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, and the rest of the passage we just read, it never says all their brothers or the rest of his brothers. It says his brothers. But it does say later that 11 stars were bowing down to Joseph's star and the sheaves and things like that. It doesn't say the sheaves. The sheaves were quantity unspecific. And then the stars, the sun, the moon, and the 11 stars, and that definitely would mean Jacob, his mother, and the brothers. But just saying that this is, the language points to the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, and we are not going to go back and look up who those men are. I'm sure that it matters. Okay. So at the end of verse 11, and his brothers were jealous of him, but his father kept the saying in mind. Now his brothers went to pasture their father's flock near Shechem. And Israel said to Joseph, "Are not your brothers pasturing the flock at Shechem? Come, I will send you to them." And he said to them, "Here I am." So he said to them, "Go now, see if it is well with your brothers and with the flock, and bring me word." So he sent him from the valley of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. And a man found him wandering in the fields, and the man asked him, "What are you seeking?" "I am seeking my brothers," he said. "Tell me, please, where are they pasturing the flock?" And the man said, "They have gone away, for I heard them say, 'Let us go to Dothan.'" So Joseph went after his brothers and found them at Dothan. They saw him from afar, and before he came near to them, they conspired against him to kill him. They said to one another, "Here comes this dreamer. Come now, let us kill him and throw him into one of the pits. Then we will say that a fierce animal has devoured him, and we will see what will become of his dreams." But when Reuben heard it, he rescued him out of their hands. So again, Reuben is a son of Leah. But when Reuben heard it, he rescued him out of their hands, saying, so my point about this is, if we assume, and maybe we shouldn't, but I'm saying if we just play with this idea, that he brought a bad report of the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, and then dreamed that only the sheaves of Bilhah and Zilpah bowed down to him, but then dreamed that the stars, the 11 stars, bowed down to him. The sons of Leah and Rachel would probably be less mad at him. Reuben's one of those. Look, this is kind of speculation, but it seems to me three prophecies versus one, Reuben doesn't seem as salty. And then isn't it Judah? Anyway, let's keep going. But when Reuben heard it, he rescued him out of their hands, saying, "Let us not take his life." And Reuben said to them, "Shed no blood. Throw him into this pit here in the wilderness, but do not lay a hand on him, that he might rescue." So unquote, but do not lay a hand on him. And this is now Reuben's thoughts, that he, Reuben, might rescue him out of their hand to restore him to his father. So when Joseph came to his brothers, they stripped him of his robe, the robe of many colors that he wore, and they took him and threw him into a pit. The pit was empty, there was no water in it. Then they sat down to eat, and looking up, they saw a caravan of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead, with their camels bearing gum, balm, and myrrh, on their way to carry it down to Egypt. Then Judah said to his brothers, "What profit is it if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother, our own flesh." And his brothers listened to him. And I also wonder if Benjamin was here, because that's his full brother. And it's interesting too, is that, of course, the sons of Leah are more related to the sons of Rachel, because Rachel is Leah's sister. And Bilhah and Zilpah would, I don't think that's half, but how much do you share with, not common mothers, but common aunts or something like that? I'm not sure. Ray Stevens, make a song about this one, especially where we're going with Judah and Tamar. What Judah says to his brothers, "What profit is it if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother, our own flesh." And his brothers listened to him. Then Midianite traders passed by. Then Midianite. Who's the father of Midian again? Then Midianite traders passed by, because Midianites, are they Ishmaelites? Passed by, and they drew Joseph up and lifted him out of the pit, and sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 shekels of silver. They took Joseph to Egypt. When Reuben returned to the pit and saw that Joseph was not in the pit, so Reuben was not with Judah so again, there's something to which brothers are in which scene, because obviously Judah says to his brothers, Reuben not included in that. Because Reuben returns and expecting to see Joseph in the pit. When Reuben returned to the pit and saw that Joseph was not in the pit, he tore his clothes and returned to his brothers and said, "The boy is gone, and where shall I go?" Then they took Joseph's robe and slaughtered a goat and dipped the robe in the blood. And they sent the robe of many colors and brought it to their father and said, "This we have found. Please identify whether it is your son's robe or not." And he identified it and said, "It is my son's robe. A fierce animal has devoured him. Joseph is without doubt torn to pieces." Then Jacob tore his garments and put sackcloth on his loins and mourned for his son many days. All his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted and said, "No, I shall go down to Sheol to my son mourning." Thus his father wept for him. Meanwhile, the Midianites had sold him in Egypt to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, the captain of the guard. We're going to end it there. We're not going to get into Judah and Tamar because I just noticed some stuff. Dude, Joseph was Jacob's heir from the start, dude. That's what's going on here. It's another one of these things where bloodline matters, and that it's not exact. I mean, it is what you think, but it's much further than you think. Why did he love Joseph so much? Joseph was the firstborn of his chosen wife, of the wife that he wanted, but I don't know if it worked that way. I feel like maybe Laban's deception, it is not so in our country. It is not so in our country. We marry off the firstborn daughter first. That's what Laban says. He deceives Jacob, and Jacob's real wife, or his heir wife. These other two are concubines, by the way. Bilhah and Zilpah are concubines. Their heir does it say wife or concubine? As a wife, I'm wrong about that. Bilhah and Zilpah are wives. Leah and Rachel are wives, but there's something about Joseph. He's mourning so hard, and here's the other thing. Look at this one. He put sackcloth on his loins. That's the one that really, really made me think. When they talk about loins, they're talking about birth. They're talking about genealogy. your hand under my thigh is talking about genealogy. It's talking about progeny. It's talking about seed. And he is mourning for Joseph, but he's also mourning for Joseph's line. What else did it say? It mentions Joseph first. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph being 17 years old. Usually that's not how it goes down. When it says generations or ancestries, usually they list a bunch of genealogies and ancestries. Like in the last one. These are the generations of Esau, and I said it wrong, and Esau. And then they spend an entire chapter discussing his generations and genealogies. Next chapter. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was pasturing the flock with his brothers. He's describing his heretical line. And then and this is confirmed later when he blesses Ephraim and Manasseh. So I'm not talking about, obviously, the messianic line. I'm not talking about the kingly, the Christly line. But the hereditary line is Joseph. Where was the other one? He has the dreams. Bilhah and Zilpah would also not be pure lines, right? I mean, I have to think more about it, but there's this other comment in here. But his father kept the saying in mind. The one with the 13 star, the 11 stars, sun and moon bowing down to him. But his father kept the saying in mind. His father loved him more than all his brothers. And keep in mind, by the way, too, very, very important, love and hate in the Old Testament, and really in the Bible, is really more about acceptance. And I don't mean all forms of love, but like Jacob I have loved, Esau I've hated, is more about like chosenness and acceptance versus, and on the other side, rejection, and just rejection and despising his birthright. It doesn't mean to have like emotional hatred for someone. Ooh, I'm really mad at you. It's like acceptance. And God hated Cain's sacrifice and he loved Abel's sacrifice. So it's really about acceptance and rejection. But I don't know, man. As always, there's much more to this story than we're even reading. God has opened my eyes. During Green Pastures 3 or 4 years ago, I was a pup, dude. I didn't even know how to read this thing. But if you just look at what it says, and it makes, and always, also, this is not even what it says. This is the English Standard Version, which is a translation of a script, and I can't go much past that. I don't know the full history of all the translations, but it requires study, man. And I'm not trying to be, I think a lot of people are just, they will say things like, oh, I'm not God. God just said it. Who am I to argue with God? They will say that knowing that they are not at the point of arguing with God yet. I'm not at the point of arguing with God. I'm sitting, when I sin and things like that, sure. My arguing with God is done when I disobey him. But what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to point out that don't be one that gives up and blames it on arguing with God. I'm not arguing with God. I'm just looking what he's saying. I'm trying to hold all the truths in my mind. I'm not smart enough, and I probably will go to, I at least will take a couple hermeneutics classes. I don't know if I'm going to go to seminary, but I want to get closer to figuring this stuff out. But as always, man, if you just read it and you throw away what the VBS lens on things, it says what it says. He was a boy with the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, and brought up, who are they? I want to know. I want to see a chart of because six were Rachel's, or 6 were Leah's. Anyway, that's for y'all to do. It's been a 20-minute video. My voice is degrading quick. Jeez, maybe I should try to drink some water. But yeah, I'm going to go to church, worship the Lord. I got to get in the shower. I love you. Have a good day. Live stream Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Other things going on. Patriot Jam, Nashville, July 26th. Tickets go on sale today, actually. I just got to do a little internet tweakage, do a little announcement. Going to announce that later. I love you. See you in the funny papers.